Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for the Summer Morning Shootout at Mayors, presented by Disc Giant, supported by Innova Champion Discs, and also sponsored by Dynamic Discs. Now, I usually don't do videos like this for a one-round event, but there's a number of first-time PDGA event players, and I want to make sure everyone is on the same page. The videos are an aspect of my tournaments that most players appreciate, and just one way that my events stand out from others that you might experience. You'll see that I'm cutting to some previously recorded segments to help save time, because running one of these events takes a lot of donated time just to make it happen. Early check-in will be available Friday from noon till 5 at Disc Giant, located at 3977 South McCarran next to Juicy's. You can swing in, grab your player's pack, and get a hold of anything else you might need for battle the next morning. Early check-ins will receive a bonus coupon good for $3 off any item in the shop during that visit. They're only good for that day, so use them then. Now, early check-ins make it easier for us to run things super smooth Saturday and gives you one less thing to concern yourself with the day of competition. The schedule for Saturday morning is posted in DG Scene and will be included with the player's email later in the week. You do need to check in the morning of competition. You do need to be there for the players meeting, and any players pack that wasn't collected Friday will be available after the round. Speaking of after the round, there will be some fun stuff going on after the round. We hope everyone can bring a picnic lunch and hang out in the lawn area under the shade of the trees and gazebo, because once the round is over, it takes some time to get results finalized and proceed with awards. While we get results squared away, you'll have one more chance to win, and win big. We have a closest to the pin contest where you can win a 20-inch chain, high-quality basket with custom Disc Giant event graphics. It is $1 per shot, or 6 shots for $5. The basket will be set at a distance close enough to give everyone a shot to compete. Bring your lawn chairs. These are always a lot of fun for everyone who's throwing, watching, and doing both. There will also be prizes for second, third, fourth, and fifth place. That's a lot of chances to win. The bathrooms at the ball field will be open. There's a porta potty near the gazebo by hole 1, but that was left there by a construction company about 7 months ago. I would not recommend entering it. Yikes. Let's cut to a word about parking. It's time to talk about the parking at Mayors. There is a bit of an issue. Now, after you get off the freeway, you're cruising down Stead Boulevard, and the park will be on your right. Where the grass and gazebos are is where we're going to check in really quick the day of play, have a quick players meeting to make sure no one is confused. The parking lot right next to this grassy area and gazebo fills up quickly, and it is only near a portion of the course. So, as you're cruising down Stead Boulevard, look for the turn right before the park. It's on your right, and it's called Norton Boulevard. If you take a right on Norton, you're going to see you're passing the course on your left. There's a giant parking lot up by the ball fields. This parking lot is actually situated right in the middle of the course. Now, after you park, you're going to head down the dirt road to the right of hole 18 and head back towards the gazebo so that you can check in and we can have our quick meeting. Special thanks to my assistant TD, Scott Pointer, who a lot of you already know, and Scott will be there to help guide you on your journey, answer any of your questions, and make sure you're on track. Special thanks to Luke Anderson as well as Alex Taylor for their help setting Mayors. Special thanks to our whole sponsors, Neil Fincher, Francisco Ortega, and Jesse Combs. We appreciate your donation. It helps add to payouts. Did you know that Jesse Combs and Francisco Ortega had to withdraw the event, but they said, hey, keep the whole sponsorship and put it towards the event. Thank you, friends. One thing I always like to point out is that this is a PDGA event. It's not doubles, it's not tags, it's not a casual round with your buddies. So the drug and alcohol policy is strictly in effect. If you are trying to skirt the rules and sneak drinks into your flask or whatever, infractions of this rule will result in a no warning instant DQ. No one wants to see that. No one wants to be involved in the drama, least of all me. So please do us all a favor and keep your nose clean while we are playing the event. There is absolutely no smoking of anything, no vapes, no nothing during this event once competition starts. Sales of outside merchandise like selling stuff out of the trunk of your car, strictly prohibited. Trophies will be awarded at this low-cost seats here only to first place finishers. Pro payouts will be sent via PayPal to the same PayPal address that you used to sign up for the event. So hopefully that was your correct PayPal address. While a lot of the AM Players fees go to pay for the AM Players packs, trophies, PDGA, and park rental fees, there will be some funds left to provide top AM finishers with script good towards merchandise at Disc Giant. These script certificates do expire. It is up to you to use them before you might lose it somewhere or before it expires. We will no longer accept these past the expiration date because it causes problems, which is why I'm pointing this out and making it crystal clear. Script certificates are non-transferable and cannot be combined with any other offer or discount. The best place to cash in for awesome treasures is at the shop, where there are thousands of choices, which is why Disc Giant will be open all day Saturday until 5 o'clock to give you a chance to swing by. We will also have some bins of merchandise at the event out after the round in case you'd like to cash in on the spot. This event utilizes online scoring. There's a separate video that walks you through that if you're not familiar with the plan. PDGA online scoring system. It is now possible to have 2 people simultaneously checking scores, and this is what we recommend. Before, you'd have to take one person would take online scores and someone else would do UDisc or a paper scorecard as a backup. Now you can have 2 people simultaneously doing the PDGA online scoring system, and the system is built so that if the 2 people are not on the exact same page with what they have reported for the results, it will stop them before they proceed to the next screen. Anyway, take a look at that video. It'll walk you through it. This is painless. It saves strokes because in the past, if you turned in a scorecard that was incorrect, you'd incur a 2-stroke penalty. This avoids all of that, and trust me, I've been the recipient of one of those penalties, and it is extremely painful. It is absolutely worth taking advantage of the online scoring system to avoid any conflict, drama, or scoring error that might incur a penalty. If you missed the cutoff to specify your shirt size, for example, if you registered a week before the event or a couple weeks before the event, we had to have the information in earlier than that to purchase specific shirt sizes. Now, we ordered extra. We did our best to have extra, and hopefully we can get your size. If not, next time you'll just want to sign up earlier. Sage relief. In Nevada, one of the crazy things about Nevada, there are many, but one of them is the state flower of Nevada is a sagebush. Sagebrush? Sagebush? I think both of those are right. Anyway, is sage. It's everywhere. I mean, it is everywhere. As the state flower for Nevada, it is protected. Like in California, when I used to live there, the state flower is a poppy. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a flower. And some sage flowers, sometimes. I don't know. In California, my parents would always tell me, don't step on that because you could get arrested if they find you stomping on poppies. And I was like, oh, wow, that's serious. Okay, in Nevada, look, as a result of the fact that sage is the state flower, take a look online right now. Stop and just take a look so you're familiar with what it looks like, because what I'm about to tell you can save you strokes. There's a rule in Nevada that can be enacted by TDs referred to as sage relief. Now, this doesn't apply in California or any place else. It's in Nevada for this specific reason, so don't get crazy. All right, you guys, some people get carried away with going, there's a rule about this, and they're in Wyoming. Listen, ding-dong, the state flower in Wyoming is not sage, all right? Okay, we're going to get to more ding-dong behavior here in a second when I talk about this, but I need to clarify the sage relief rule. Here's what it is. I'm going to use, no, this isn't sage. That's why you had to look it up online so you're familiar. This is random greenage from my garbage can. Look, it's a piece of organic spinach. Let's say player A. Man, look at that. Oh, man, that's bad. Ass. Wings popping out, and he's going. Okay, but that's not who he is right now. He's here to help us illustrate the sage. Guy's disc lands in the sagebrush. If Guy's going to come over here and actually stand at his regular lie, he'd be smashing down the plant to get in there, right? But this is a state-protected flower, this sagebush. All right, brush, whatever. If his disc is up here in the front of the bush and he's back here, the basket's over here, his lie, instead of stepping on the sagebrush and damaging it, what he's going to do is get up here and he's going to put his foot as close as possible to his lie without damaging the bush. That means his shin is probably touching the bush and everything, right? His foot is underneath the bush, though, not smashing the branches or the foliage. That is sage relief. So instead of having to stand in the bush, you actually get relief and even footing. See what I'm saying? You can throw with your foot flat. Here's another donut hole move. It made me crazy. Last year, people were making stuff up. When you don't know what you're talking about, just zip it, okay? We don't need you out there complicating the issue and creating controversy. If your disc is in the bush, that's the relief you get. Someone comes up and says, well, there's another sage back here. So if I'm doing a run up, that sage is in the way. No one said you were guaranteed a runway for your throw, all right? You get sage relief, even footing, not guaranteed a run-up. Look, it wasn't in the way of you standing behind your lie behind the sagebrush. Who thought of that? I know who brought it to my attention, but he wasn't the guy that made it up. And then some other joker says, well, this stump is sagebrush, and he's trying to give his group to give him relief. The thing was burnt to a crisp. Do I really have to point it out? If the sagebrush is burnt to a crisp, we don't have to worry about protecting it. If it's just a stick or a root and there's no bush attached to it, what are you talking about? We are at elevation here in Reno, so you'll want to make sure you pack sunscreen and plenty of water. We'll field your questions at the players meeting before the round, and we'll see you Saturday.